This is another screener from Australia. Although, unlike some of the other ones I saw, this one wasn't clearly an Australian film. Let me explain. Subject is about Willem. He's on the way to prison for a crime he doesn't think he's guilty of, and on the way there, he's hijacked and taken to a super secret facility. He's given the option to be part of this government experiment instead of going to prison. They tell him if he doesn't accept that he will never see his daughter again. So Willem goes into a room where a good chunk of the movie occurs. He's in there alone, and every so often a scientist comes in to ask him a bunch of questions. He has one TV to watch and a limited amount of programming. Occasionally, he can see someone in another room, but in general, he's alone. As you would suspect, he starts to go mad. How mad, though, is up to the audience. This is why I say you can't really tell it's from Australia, because aside from the initial bits, he's alone and you don't see very much of the outside world. He starts to have flashbacks to his life, and we see the things there that may have been what brought him here. Now, initially, you may be thinking this is something like Oldboy, but no, it's not. This is another micro-budgeted feature, but it works very well. Largely because the actor playing Willem, Stephen Phillips, is really good. He goes through all sorts of mental and occasionally physical turmoil that makes you feel for the guy. It's unclear what he did for a good portion of the film, and even at the end. You're left wondering what was real and what was in his head. It does answer most of its questions, and things do become more clear on a second viewing. So if you're thinking this is going to be one of those films where you have no idea what's going on, it's not that movie. Being that the movie is mostly one location, it's really hard to pull off, but I felt that there was enough change that kept it from getting stale. Although part of the appeal of the movie is feeling the isolation with the character. Being in his room and seeing some sort of weirdness that takes place does make you, the viewer, start to go a little batty. Another thing is, the movie had a very limited score which worked resoundingly well. It was quiet for most of the film, and then they pulled out this little piano medley at just the right moments. It showed restraint, and genuinely helped the movie to feel even more emotional at the right moments. The movie goes back and forth between Willem and his cell, and him remembering his past. His past, as you can imagine, is tragic, although you don't fully understand the scale of it until later in the film. Subject was really good. I don't think it'll work for everyone, but if you would like to see the effects of isolation mixed with some weird psychological horror, I think you'll enjoy it. It's only about an hour and 15 minutes long, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. It tells the story it needs to, and doesn't needlessly drag itself out. Some movies go on a little longer than needed, Skinamarink, but this one manages to fit its story in and get out without stretching the runtime just to hit 90 minutes. If any of this sounds appealing to you, I think you should give the film a look. It's going to be hitting streaming and whatnot very soon, if not already.